Hi, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I am Steve Smith. We're up at Camp Geiger, which is a scout camp up north of St. Joseph, Missouri. And I thought that this would be a great opportunity to shoot a short little video on what we take with us when we're on the road. Now we're about, if you hear gunfire in the background, that's the shooting range over the hill. And if you hear a bunch of yelling and screaming, that's just the scouts running around, and my daughter probably who's out there running around too. So anyway, we're about 70 miles from where we live, and whenever we go on the road, we pack certain things. Of course, you might have heard me refer to the bags that we carry with us as chick bags. Other people call them get home bags. There's bug out bags, there's inch bags for I'm never coming home, all different kinds of bags. We don't specialize so much in that. We carry pretty much the same stuff with two variables, and we called it chick bags for JIC, just in case. So I thought I'd share with you a little bit about what we bring with us in a situation like this. We're about 70 miles from home, and we've come across two rivers, and that's important in the way that I plan things. I have kind of a separation of 30 miles or a river, depending on to determine which bag I bring. Now that's in addition to a larger preparedness bag that is always in the vehicle. And the reason that I have that differentiation about there being a river, because if anything happened, we're always prepared, or we think about being prepared in case of small things or great catastrophes. But we often do it with the idea that we're going to be home. Even though many of the greatest books are about not being home and how a guy gets home. But most people do prepare for being home when a catastrophe hits. Well, if we're going to be prepared, we need to be prepared everywhere we are. Okay? And our primary goal, of course, if we're away from home, is to get home. We need to have those things with us to enable us to do that. Now, if we're out about 70 miles or across a river, and in this case we're across two rivers, we need to have enough with us to make sure that we get home. Now, 70 miles, a guy could hoof that in a few days, but you remember that you're as fast as the slowest person in your party, and we have a 7-year-old, and if we're going to make 10 miles a day, that would be doing pretty well, especially in this part of the country. So we have to determine, and also when we hit the rivers, we know that in the case of a grid collapse or EMP, or could be the New Madrid Fault finally gives way down the Boot Hill. Bridges, there's two ways to get across a river. Either you're going to swim it or wade it, and I'm not swimming across the Missouri River, or you're going to use a bridge. And bridges are choke points. Bridges are dangers when you're trying to get, especially when there may be people on them or on the other side that may have an interest in you or what you're carrying. So I'll wait until they walk behind me here. So anyway, so that's why I have a differentiation of what I carry, depending on whether we're going to be 30 miles or less, or more than 30 miles, or if there's a river between where we're going to be and where we need to be. So just in today's case, to give you an idea, of course, we have our main bags. The adults we have our jig bags, but the kids also have bags. And we figured if it's going to take us about 7 days, we can make it 10 miles a day, we need 7 days of food. Now, if we make it back before then, that's great, but if we don't make it back before then, the days without food are really, they're not going to be fun. So we want to make sure that we have enough. So we use the kids' bags. They don't have to carry a lot of heavy stuff. They carry their basic stuff in a stainless steel bowl and a spoon and a whistle and things like that. And I'll get into a little more detail about what everybody carries in bags on another video. But mainly we have them carry their dry food. And so last night, my oldest son packed up their food for each of their bags, and each of the kids is carrying 20 individual servings of instant oatmeal, which is about almost 7 days if you eat 3 a day. And that's not going to be a great diet, but it's going to keep you alive and keep you going. Plus a big box of dry cereal that they can eat with their hands while we're walking. Plus a whole bunch of snacks and apples and everything else, you know, that you normally throw in a big box when you're going on a road trip. Now in the adult bags and in the main bag that stays in the truck, we have those items that we need for shelter and you know, surviving on the road or in the woods or whatever we need to do. But in this way, the kids kind of participate in carrying their own food. Also, for safety and security, each adult carries a handgun. And whenever I go across a river, and very often even when I don't, I'll carry a rifle in the car, and in my case it's an AR. Now, for those of you who are just now kind of getting into it, you may not have an AR. And I know there's a lot of people in the suburbs that are now getting involved in preparedness, understanding the importance of it. And you may not have reached the point to where you're interested in ARs or other kinds of rifles yet. And or you might have a 22 at home, or you might have a shotgun, whatever. Go ahead and put that in the car. If you have the shotgun, you might have it there in case you want to go hunting sometime, or for home defense. Well, realize that when you're away from home, you still need to defend yourself. So you don't want to think of it as just home defense. You want to think of it as family defense. And wherever you and your family are, that capability has to be with you. So anyway, I just thought that I'd let you know kind of what we do when we're on the road. Now, do we expect anything to hit before we get home? No. The chances are far in our favor. I'm sure that we're going to, well, I'm not sure, but I have a pretty good idea that we're going to get home just fine. But we pack for just in case. So keep that in mind, and you might let it just kind of bounce around in your head if you're just getting into this stuff, and let it become, you know, a little more normal and comfortable for you to think about. And consider putting together your own jig bag and your own box, or whenever you go off on a day trip or whatever, think about what you might need just in case it takes you longer to get home than you'd planned. And I think that'll do it. It's a beautiful day up here by the Missouri River, and the gunfire sounds great, and the kids yelling sound great. We're going to have a good day. So I want to remind you that we prepare well today so that we can live well tomorrow. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you later.